Hello and welcome to the special edition of Florida Foodie. We're your host. I'm Candace Campos.
And I'm Lisa Bell. Now, for those of you who may not know, Florida Foodie is a podcast where we take a deep dive into the food scene here in Central Florida and, of course, all of the people behind it. Now, the first people we want to introduce to you are Jeff and Danielle Pereira, who created an overnight success, all because they were in the mood for a bagel.
So when she said you should make me a bagel, it didn't seem odd. It just seemed like something that felt right. Okay. So I decided to try to make it. And
How was that first bagel?
Awful.
Oh.
Awful. Terrible. I mean, you have to, we should rewind. I never bake anything prior to starting bagels that didn't come out of a box. So cakes from boxes, brownies from boxes, take and break cookies. I didn't bake. I had no baking experience whatsoever, no formal
training. Did you
training.
just Google how to make a bagel?
Yeah, the internet and lots of books, reading. It's amazing the amount of tutorials that are available to learn how to bake in general. And then the bagel process was just about recipe testing, and I'd watched plenty of Food Network and seen lots of other people making food. And so I just did what I thought I should do. So I just started making different batches with slightly altered ingredients. Danielle would come home and say, this is horrible, this is better, this needs more salt. And I would take her feedback and I would make slight adjustments. And I mean, you should have seen the counters. It was just glass and plastic and metal bowls full of different doughs with all the ingredients written on the paper on top.
So when you were doing that, were you thinking maybe I'll sell these, or were you just thinking, wow, I just want to make my wife happy?
No, this was definitely make my wife happy. There was no in my mind.
Yeah.
I did not think we would be selling bagels. It was just, she said, make me a bagel. I said, of course, let's go.
Okay.
And
yeah, and he got obsessed, which was great. And I was like, all right, let's keep going. I was like, again, my end goal was to have a great bagel. And that was it. So I was like, keep going. We're getting closer. We're getting closer.
She went off to work one day.
Yeah.
And I set out to start, my test batches for the day. I don't know, 3 or 4 dozen that day. And she came home and I said, this is the one. I've got it. And she's like, I've heard this before.
Yeah, so many times. Wasting so many calories on these terrible bagels.
But I handed it to her pretty fresh from the oven, and she bit into it and her eyes rolled back in her head. And she's like,
this is it.
I'm a kid. I'm in my mom's Volvo.
Wow.
And I'm eating a bagel from my bagel shop in Long Island.
Yeah.
And
I was transported. It was I just got goosebumps, but it was pretty special.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was it worked.
So of course I started doing it again. I made them again and again and again, days in a row, making the same bagel. And she told me that I have to go to work every day. I can't I have to fit in the work clothes that I'm required to wear. Yeah,
and if there's a bagel on my counter and I've eaten a whole meal, I will eat that bagel also, because that's how much I love bagels, they're my kryptonite. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but so I was like, you got to get these out of the house. I can't eat 2 bagels after I've eaten dinner. That is not a good choice.
So we started giving them away to friends and family, and those friends and family came back to us after I wasn't making as many, because I figured out how many to make, and we started freezing them and doing stuff, and they said, we'd buy these from you. And I was like, no, but no one's going to buy bagels from me. This is crazy. You're going to buy bagels from me. And I said, okay, sure, you can buy some bagels. And so I sold some to some friends, and then they asked for them again. And I said, Danielle, maybe we should try to sell them. This was probably now November, December of 2019. So only a few months had gone by. It was a very accelerated few months.
Yeah.
I mean, I was making 5-6 dozen bagels a day for practicing. So it was a lot of energy put into it. But by December of 2019, we were selling bagels on the internet, which is crazy to say.
I mean, and I think because of our backgrounds, we had enough insight to know, okay, let's build a Facebook page, let's build an Instagram, let's build a website. This is the basic stuff to have. So people are who are these people?
Yes.
And so we knew to do that. Yeah. I think from there, once we had that, it was, kind of legitimized us.
They were so much fun to interview. Just absolutely fascinating. So a little bit of a backstory there. They were both working in retail. He had been laid off. And so he was a little depressed, kind of down, didn't know what to do, had all this free time. And so that's how they started baking bagels. And then, of course, the pandemic hits just months after that. But they had all that infrastructure just in place, just for a few months. So they were ready to go when people were looking for places to buy things like bagels, and they were on social media all the time, and it just exploded. So much so that they have now just opened up their second brick and mortar store. They started out in Ocoee, now they're in College Park in Orlando. And they sell other things too, like homemade cream cheese. It's making my
have
mouth
to- you have
water.
to.
But Danielle says she doesn't like her bagel with cream cheese.
She's a purist at heart.
I guess so. Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, talk about from happy wife to happy life. I mean, it looks like they're just so happy to
they are
to have
both
that company.
doing that now full time and juggling that and kids, and it's just crazy. But
Just trying to make sure they
kudos
keep
to them.
the waistline.
Well,
a
they're
little
working
bit.
so hard. I think they're able to do that.
I think so too. And of course, we know everyone has a different journey, and that goes for people in the food industry as well. We all know celebrity chefs from our favorite cooking shows and those competitions, but we even got the chance to talk to one. I spoke to Richard Blais about how he went from McDonald's to Top Chef and his newest restaurant right here in the City Beautiful. I just wanted to stop for a second and say, what a list of accomplishments in the last couple of years. I mean, what is it just when you think about 10 years ago, where you were at and to now?
Okay.
I mean, what would you tell yourself 10 years ago?
Well, I mean, 10 years ago, I was just happy cooking food in a restaurant
Yeah.
and, getting up and going to work every day. And that's still how I feel, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's 10 years later, but I just love what I do. I don't feel like I have a job because I love it so much. I would never have thought that I would be here with you. There's no way that I would have thought 10 years ago we'd be doing this podcast. No way.
I mean, and did it start with you, in the kitchen with your family, doing stuff in the kitchen together, or was this something you're just like, you know what, I can make a pretty, great PB&J?
Well, I did. Listen, I mean, I had an early start. So when I was 14, I had my first job was at a restaurant. I don't know if you have them around here because I'm kind of new to town.
Okay.
But it's they do like burgers and fries and shakes.
Okay.
McDonald's. Do you have?
Yeah, we have a couple of those around here.
Yes. My first job was at McDonald's when I was 14.
Okay.
Now, I was the poissonnier there, which means fish cook in French, which is a very prestigious. See how I'm hanging out with Gordon Ramsay now? I said
see.
prestigious.
Oh, very much so.
It's a very important position at a fast food hamburger restaurant that arguably has one seafood item. But I was the poissonnier.
Yeah.
And the first batch of fish sandwiches that I sent out, I forgot to put the top bun on them.
Oh. How do you forget to do that?
Because it's my first day, I'm 14 years
Okay,
old.
true.
I mean, I was probably confused because there's cheese on it. So, like, who puts cheese on a fish? Anyway, I don't put the top bun out. Everyone's coming back through the drive-thru. And that was my start in this career. Little did I know that was really my calling to being an avant-garde chef.
Look at
like,
that.
I'm serving open-faced fish sandwiches.
You're so bougie
I
at
know.
McDonald's.
So I like telling that story, though, because that is who I am. Like, I didn't grow up like on a farm on a milk crate scrambling eggs from like it's a lot of chefs have that story, but I'm just like a normal dude. My mom wasn't a great cook, and we ate food out of the microwave in the freezer, and I mean I heated it up first.
Of course. Well, that's
But
you also
simple
forget to
beans.
put the top bun on, so who knows if you ate.
I've been known to make a
frozen-
mistake or two, which probably leads you to the next question.
So
The
where's
hair.
your training?
The hair. What's
No,
going
it's
on
not
with
the
that? Okay,
hair.
good.
I
I
wasn't
thought you
gonna
were gonna
ask
go
you about
right
your
there.
hair.
I thought you were gonna go right there.
That's going to be next. That's the next question on the
Okay,
list.
fair enough.
But
Fair
so
enough.
your training. So where did you go to school?
Yes, I went to school at the Culinary Institute of America, which is like their sort of claim is like the Harvard of culinary schools.
Okay.
Which means it's expensive.
Yeah.
And it is, but like that's where I went to culinary, and I loved it. I loved culinary school a lot. You don't have to go if someone wants to learn how to cook. But I was such a student. I love learning. So I actually, true story, got locked in the library one night because I was up there reading like 19 books about carrots. Who does that?
Okay,
And
you.
like the student, who was running the library like left and locked up, and I was locked in. I got out.
But you know a lot about carrots now.
But I know a lot about carrots, which is my new cookbook. Richard Blais knows a lot about carrots. It's not.
I was
That's
going to
not a
say,
new
is
note.
it? That wasn't on my notes.
It is vegetable driven. It is vegetable driven.
Wow.
We had fun. We had fun. And the way he's in person is the same way he is on TV.
Yeah.
If you watch Next Level Chef on Fox or whatever the fun things are, he's just so funny. And interesting enough, he did open up a new restaurant, Four Flamingos, right here in Central Florida. It's on Grand Cypress Boulevard near in Lake Buena Vista. And the food is phenomenal. It's works of art on a platter. It's
Any open
beautiful.
fish sandwiches there?
There is. It's a revolving menu. You never know what you're going to get. But
Yeah.
he really wants, when he opens up a restaurant in the city, he loves to kind of get that feel, that vintage feel of its origin. So there's a lot of fun stuff on the menu. So.
And if carrots are on the menu, order those
You
too.
know, he read 19 books and got
Oh my
locked in the library
goodness.
for carrots. Yeah.
He's hilarious. Well, for most of us, our favorite thing about food, of course, is eating all of it.
Yes, but these competitive eaters take it just to the next level. I mean, we talk about their biggest challenges right here in the Sunshine State.
You're watching a special edition. We're getting results for all of Central Florida on air and on News 6. We'll be right back.
I'm hungry. You know that hot dog eating contest?
Yes.
I mean,
heard of that before.
Yeah, competitive eating is a little scary to watch, but the amount of food professional eaters can stomach is very impressive.
And the people who choose to eat for a living are just as impressive. We caught up with professional eaters Randy Santel and Katina Desjardins about their careers and the challenges they took on right here in Florida.
You mentioned Korean food, and I've seen you eat pizzas and steaks and burgers. What is the hardest thing to eat in one of these challenges?
Katina, what do you think?
Well, now that I've done it for the first time, I would say big ice cream challenges because there's so much sugar involved.
And what about like a brain freeze?
Right.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I didn't get a brain freeze doing my most recent ice cream challenge, but yeah, the sugar can really hit you. It doesn't matter if you have enough room. There's just like a certain point where you start to like, I don't know, get like a little buzzy about it. So it really hits you different. So I would say for me, that has been my new big, like, wow, that is a toughie.
Yeah, and just to go on top of that, it's not even so much the ice cream. The one that Katina's talking about at Sloan's here in the Miami area, they had tons of different brownies, cookies, and stuff like that. I've done cupcake challenges, pretty much anything that's just really high in sugar. Those can be tough. But also, too, anything that's overcooked. Whether it be a pizza or a big slab of meat, beef, big burger. I've done a 4-pound burger patty that was way overcooked. Once it's overcooked, it dries out and just gets really chewy and tough to eat. So you have to use a whole bunch of extra liquids in order to get it down. So yeah, I would say overcooked, big meaty challenges, and then very high sugar dessert challenges are rough.
Is there any type of food you don't like? I mean, I've seen the pizzas. What if someone puts a bunch of anchovies on there or something like that?
I actually just did a challenge here in Miami at a place called Taqueria Viva Mexico, where I ate pig ears, stomach, intestines, and tongue. So that was all pretty crazy. Yeah, that's the same reaction my mom had. But my big thing is I don't really ever want to eat Carolina Reaper peppers or anything just super spicy. So I'll eat pretty much anything else, just nothing that's just so spicy that it ruins your body and hurts you for like 2 or 3 days.
And what would you say is like the one food that you're like, I would love to do a challenge on this food?
Anything grilled cheese. Grilled cheese is always amazing. I love anything buffalo chicken. If I had to do one challenge, I think I would want to do a French onion soup challenge. I've never done one. That would be amazing. That'd be very high in salt. But what about you, Katina?
I've always wanted to do like a full English breakfast challenge. I thought that would be a lot of fun, or anything breakfast related. I love waffles, pancakes, just breakfast items are the best items of food to me. So anything along that line.
Anything covered in sausage gravy has got to be good.
I have to agree with the whole breakfast thing. If I have to eat a lot of something, it's going to be breakfast. You?
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
What would be yours?
I just felt full the entire time we were talking to them. And if you go and follow them on social media, you'll see sometimes, they're kind of washing things down with beer. And I asked them during that interview.
Yeah, I remember.
Doesn't that fill you up? If you have like one large beer, then 10 pizzas, how do you do all that? They said they go into a lot of those challenges really hungry.
Right.
So that helps.
And it helps soften stuff. So.
Oh, it's a lot.
I mean, they're impressive.
They're very impressive. All right. We may not eat as much as our competitive eating friends, but the best part of our job can be getting to try foods from all of those great places, especially the local ones. So I was able to try some sweet treats from Fat Ash Bakes.
You actually have a flavor that I saw on your plate. It's like a maple praline pecan one. Yes. And so that is one, I think I saw it on your plate.
Yes.
That one is like probably one of my new favorites. That is one I think that we could definitely experiment with bacon.
So Thomas set this up for me, and he's in a different room, and I think he left his plate.
I did. I'm kicking myself.
Oh, good. You could either get up and come and get it, or I'll just taste it myself.
Why don't I get up and go and get it? I'll be right back.
I might sneak a little taste while he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, you have to while we're there.
Amazing. It's so good.
You. Thank you.
He's in here right now, grabbing that. I'm afraid to start eating this because I don't know, like I am now drooling out of my mouth right now.
100%.
Thomas, I will admit, while you were walking down the hall, I snuck a little bite.
No worries. I can't blame you.
On praline. So do you want to try them now? Should we, I need a bigger bite of that.
Yeah.
You want to do maple pecan praline first?
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
So I am a warm cookie fan. Israel, Izzy, my husband, who's the other half of this, is not. So it really is whatever you like to do. I enjoy warming them up. He eats them room temperature, so you can eat them either way.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
This is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Oh, man. Is there...
Now we have to talk after this.
Yeah, right? Like,
It's kind of like cinnamon toast crunch almost on steroids.
Yes, it's like breakfast in a cookie.
Yes.
Is this like
this with a cup of coffee is exactly what I need right now.
It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Thomas, the next we have Electric Zoo, which I will hold up. Has some sprinkles on top. It looks like an animal cracker or something, or no, I don't know what that is. Is it an animal cracker?
I have the cookies here too. So I know there's a little glare because of the light, but you know, before you had them, they were all individually wrapped and sealed. So they last a really long time in these bags and they survive all the shipping that we do. We ship nationally, but we have also shipped internationally as well. So we do it all.
Are you getting ahead of me and trying the Electric Zoo, Thomas?
Maybe.
That was so fun.
Oh,
this
was
is
it?
bringing back some great memories.
Was it? I never got to try.
I'm sorry. They were great. So Fat Ash Bakes is located on Mills in downtown Orlando. Delicious, as she said. They ship so many great flavors. Follow them on Instagram. They post their upcoming flavors like days in advance, and they sell out like crazy.
That's great.
So good.
So would you have warmed them up if you had the option to?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They were great. They were, I think either way. I'd have to try them warm and then let you know. But they were really wonderful.
With a cup of coffee. Now you're talking.
Yeah, and the challenge is when we get to try stuff like that, then you just want to sit back and eat.
Yeah, you still have to have a conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like we said, trying food from different Central Florida restaurants is one of the sweetest perks of doing our job.
Even though sometimes sweet might be the wrong word.
My nose is running. I feel like really bad right now. Like I feel like I'm just draining everything out of me.
Thank you for the visual, Lisa. Sometimes a little too hot for some of us to handle. We'll take a look at a sauce that's hotter than L. That's coming up next. You're watching a special edition of Florida Foodie. We'll be right back.
The Central Florida food scene is more than just restaurants and food trucks. It's also all of the great local food products.
And that includes Hotter Than L Hot Sauce, a local company that sells their sauce at the Central Florida Zoo. Now, we were able to try some of their most famous sauces.
Okay, let's go to Love Burns.
You wanna?
Yes.
Man.
Let's go.
All right.
You can hear them laughing in the back.
All right, I'll do a lot less on this.
Okay.
And I'll just put it on the end so you can just bite a small amount of it and then use the chip to
cool off.
To cool off, yeah.
Okay.
I say a little.
I want to hold this up for our camera.
Here,
I don't know if you can see it.
I'll go.
Wow, you're doing a lot.
Holy mackerel.
Wow.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And you can just recreate Matt Damon's comment anytime you like.
Did you say like, holy damn?
Wowzers.
No, he dropped.
Drop a couple.
Yeah, F-bomb.
Dang. It's good.
Dino is smiling so hard right now.
My eyes are watering.
We haven't too.
I will have a whole new appreciation for
hot.
you too when I watch you all on the news now.
Woo! That one was the Love Burns.
That's Love Burns, number 7 on Hot Ones, season 15.
Something's burning all right.
Let's do the last one.
Do it. You do it.
You're not gonna do it? Tapping out? Just a little bit. Just a little. Not as much as what he gave
Look
you.
at that, peer pressure.
I'm almost out of water.
I don't have any water.
Believe it or not, water makes it worse too.
Now he
It
tells
just
her.
spreads it. Yeah. But I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to be the reason that, you know.
Well, I don't have a show.
I
I'm
need
done.
a chip.
See, I had a chip. It felt good. Okay. But like little Dino,
Little Dino.
please be nice.
Make me laugh. It's going to go everywhere.
It doesn't want to come out.
It's afraid of you.
It's afraid.
That's too much.
Is that good? That's good?
Here, let me dip my chip into that.
Oh my God.
Dip into his chip. Look how much he gave me. You see this right now? This is probably smaller than a
You want to
pea.
dip in that?
Yeah, I'm gonna dip.
Is that enough?
Just bite just the edge, not the whole chip, so you actually taste it.
Okay. I want you to see your reaction first. I still have to eat a plain
It's
chip.
not that bad. Again, I'm a bad judge of this.
Oh. Oh yeah. Thomas, go get me my water, please.
All right.
Kidding.
I'm gonna try it. This is like a good game. This is a Saturday night game. Okay.
Until you're cramping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have another chip.
Yeah, I was out with friends the last week. Next thing I know, at like 12:30 at night, there's like 7 people in my house, in my kitchen, all tasting hot sauces.
That was better because I barely had any.
My tongue's on fire.
My nose is running. I feel like really bad right now. Like I feel like I'm just draining everything out of me. And it's highly inappropriate.
Wow. Yeah, I know. And the reason why it's called Hotter Than Elle is in honor of his daughter, whose name is Elle.
Right. Those were it was so much fun to do that.
It was.
And we took home some of the milder ones that are delicious.
They are very nice.
Yes. But man, if you're into hot sauce, that's the place to go.
Yeah, he says that when he was doing it in his kitchen, it was, I mean, you would walk in and your eyes would start to burn.
I know. My eyes are watering just watching that. So it was intense.
You dipped your chip on his chip.
Right. That was enough.
That was enough. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us on this special edition of Florida Foodie.
Yeah, and remember, you can always get the latest foodie news anytime on clickorlando.com/Florida Foodie and sign up for our newsletter. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Bell.
All right, you can go grab a snack. I'm Candace Campos. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Florida Foodie. Be sure to follow Lisa Bell online. Search Lisa Bell News on Facebook and Instagram, or Lisa Bell News 6 on Twitter. You can also find Candace Campos on social media. She's on Twitter. Just search @Candace News 6. And on Facebook, search Candace Campos News 6. I'm the show's producer, Thomas Mates. Please take the time to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can find videos of all of our podcasts on clickorlando.com. And on YouTube, just search Florida Foodie.